UFC 327 is this weekend. Maybe the most exciting card of the year. Jiri Prochazka versus the Black Jag, Carlos Ulberg, for the vacant UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. The way this video is going to work is we're going to be going over our picks and predictions down to the way it happens. And we'll start from the bottom of the main card, go up, and then we'll rapid fire the prelims and the early prelim. I think there's 3 of them, but there's kind of only one that really matters. But we get things started with the Unk. Cub Swanson versus Nate the Train. This is Cub's last fight in professional mixed martial arts. He's been in the game since maybe before I was even a thought. People forget, man. He's 30-14, but he's fought the best of the best in the lighter weight classes. Dustin Poirier, beat Charles Oliveira, beat Dennis Seaver, beat Jeremy Stevens, the hardest hitting 145er, spent 25 minutes in the cage with him in his prime, and beat him. And then you got Nate the Train, someone who's just, if I were to pick a song to describe Nate the Train, it would be Crazy Train by Ozzy. Like, he's absolutely nuts. And he's taken a lot of damage his last 2 fights. That Doo Ho Choi fight was, Nate the Train, he was a pretty heavy favorite if I remember correctly, and I think I hammered him. Anyways, and that has nothing to go into this decision. I guess it does. Right? I'm going to take Cub. I'm going to take Cub by 30-27. Actually, no, 29-28. I think Nate's going to win the first round, but I think Cub's kind of gritty vetness to him, his heart's going to come out in rounds 2 and 3. It's going to be an excellent fight. There's going to be no grappling in this. So, moving on. Dirty Dom, Dominic Reyes and Johnny Walker. Fellas, like, nobody thinks John Jones beat Dominic Reyes more than me, and nobody was on the Dominic Reyes path back to the title more than me. If you get what I'm saying. And I had him beating Black Jag, which might be a tip not to listen to my predictions. And I'm not really selling myself here, but this one's going to happen. Dirty Dom walks into the cage and he looks like he's, 240 pounds of pure flub against Black Jag when he was looking like an absolute monster against Rakic and put his lights out. His boxing's been looking super crisp. He looks big in the cage. But that Black Jag performance was real bad, man. He looked like he did not belong in there. And when you're going in against, you guys might think I'm trolling, but Johnny Walker was a round away from fighting John Jones for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Pre-COVID or during COVID, during the start. When you're 6'6" at light heavyweight and you got athleticism like Johnny Walker, he's going to knock out Dominic Reyes. And I'm going to take him in the second round. And, with the 5-inch reach advantage and the 2-inch height, and he's just more athletic and maybe has more pop. I'm going to go Johnny Walker by some sort of shenanigans to put out Dominic Reyes, whether it's a flying knee or maybe like a slip counter or something like that. It's going to be a nice knockout. It's going to be like, what the hell just happened? Johnny Walker round 2 knockout. And I'm a Dominator fan. I'm a Dominic Reyes fan. And this is a fight that I don't know if it makes sense for me. You're trying to push guys in heavyweight, and I get it. Josh Hokett, he's 8-0, former professional football player. I don't even think he's been in the UFC for a year. We know he cuts great promos and stuff like that, but he's kind of fought nobodies. And Curtis Blaydes has been in there with the best of them and has beat some of the best of them. And the way I'm going to use that sentence is the best of them is like kind of one thing when I say some of the best of them. Anyways, I just think Curtis Blaydes is going to get him. And by get him, I mean like probably like third round ground and pound knockout. I don't see Hokit being that much of a threat. He's got no reach on him. He's got no height on him. He's got no experience on him. I don't even think he's got power on him. This is a really bad fight for Josh Hokit. I don't get it. I don't get it. I know that people want to push prospects, but he's not a Sugar Sean against a Piotr Jan. He's not a Lonnie Kavanaugh against Brandon Moreno. This matchup doesn't make much sense to me. I'm going to go 30-20, or no, I'm going to go round 3 knockout Curtis Blades. Moving on, we got the new co-main event. Azamat Murzakanov, the density maxer, against Paulo Secret Juice Costa. Paulo Costa moving up from 185. Now heading into 205. Against a small in stature 205er in Azamat Murzakanov, even though he's 16-0, has legit knockout power, just knocked out Rakic, who everyone knocks out, but fellas, I'm going with Paulo Costa here, and it's kind of crazy. Like, I think Paulo Costa is going to snatch his O. I think Paulo's been knocked out once in his career by a prime Izzy, and people forget, man. I hate using that term, but people do forget that prime Izzy was that guy. And this is kind of a more grizzled Paulo Costa. He's not going to have to deal with a huge weight cut. His chin's going to be strong. He's going to be strong. He had a huge win against Kopylov, and I was all over that, by the way. So maybe you should take my picks. But I was all over Costa beating Roman Kopylov by decision. He looks like the significantly better fighter. Now he's moving up to 205, where I think he could cause a ruckus. Paulo Costa, maybe something crazy on the ground against the taxi driver. Maybe a submission. Maybe a sub. Maybe like a round 3 armbar or a round 2 RNC. My final prediction will be like a round 3 sub. Something on the ground. Like maybe against the cage. I don't know, man. Paulo Costa is just that guy. He's that guy. I'm not super confident about any of this. It's a weird fight. It's a weird fight, but I love it. And here's the big guy. Jiri versus the Black Jag. And it sounds crazy, but I'm torn. I'm torn on this matchup. Jiri hasn't lost to anyone inside of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, not named Alex Pereira, which for someone who's on pace to be maybe the greatest of all time, it's a pretty great accomplishment. And he's never out of a fight. Jiri is never out of the fight. We saw him when he won the belt against Glover Teixeira in the 5th round with a huge submission. Even his most recent fight against Khalil Roundtree when he knocked him out in the 3rd round after getting pieced up for 2 rounds and coming out in the 3rd round looking fresh. As for the Black Jag, though, I think it's the most fitting nickname in the sport. I think it is. He's smooth. Obviously, we know he was like a stripper back in the day. And you might think I'm crazy, but, these male strippers, they've got excellent hips. They've got good flexibility. They're smooth. They've got good cardio. They're kind of dancing all night. And that's kind of something that Jiri has had problems with. He's a slow starter. If someone can outlast him in cardio, I take that back. Let me rephrase that. If someone can match his cardio round for round, he's had problems with it. Like Khalil Roundtree took 2 rounds off him. Glover was beating him until he subbed him. If Carlos Ulberg can hold up for 25 minutes, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 48-47 or a 49-46, and I think Yuri's the better fighter. I've got him on my pound-for-pound list. But Carlos Ulberg, he's a tougher opponent than people expect for Jiri. Obviously we know he arguably lost to Jan Blachowicz, but Jan Blachowicz is a damn good fighter, man. Damn good fighter. Arguably beat Alex Pereira. But I just think 25 minutes is too long to be in the cage with Jiri Prochazka. I don't think he's ever won a fight that wasn't a sub, or maybe there was one decision or something in there. 25 minutes is a long time to be in the cage with a man like that. I'm going to go Jiri Prochazka round 2 knockout. I don't think Carlos Ulberg's ever fought someone with power like Jiri, like the Samurai. I don't think he has. He's never fought a freak with the style that Jiri has, how explosive he is, with maybe not the touch of death, but damn close to it. But there's a chance Carlos outlasts him. There's a chance, and this is kind of a similar feeling that I got with Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira, that, I do think that Yuri's the better fighter. But it's not a good matchup. It's not someone that he's going to dog walk. But with that being said, he absolutely could. He could knock him out in a punch. He could knock him out in a combo. He could throw a spinning elbow and put him on his ass. He could drop him and sub him. Like, that's how good Jiri is. So that's why I'm going with him. So main card, that's it, done. And as we go, and I know this is going to be rapid fire, but I have a bit of a rant, so stick with me here. And I want to hear what you guys think. You have Patricio Pitbull, legend in Bellator, Aaron Pico, one of the craziest combat sports stories ever, if you want to go read into it, about him wrestling Nike, college, him being a hype prospect, getting knocked out, coming back, everything about it. It's awesome. It's a cool story. This is the second most exciting fight of the night. You have Aaron Pico, who is like Michael Chandler, but at 145 and has a chin of glass. And you have Patricio Pitbull, who could be the biggest name of the 2010s to not come out, or to not come out of the UFC. Like, you have MVP, Pitbull, Chandler, Gaethje. Like, Pitbull's in that mix, man. He was the face of Bellator for a decade. I think this fight should have been the co-main. It's an exciting fight, but the pro wrestling mind in me says you never put, a match of the night contender stacked with another match of the night contender. You could tire out the crowd. And I know it's different. It's not really show business, but I would have liked to seen this fight on the main card. With that said, I'm going Aaron Pico round 2 knockout. I think he's just gonna put him out, and Aaron Pico is gonna become a star from this. I'm a huge Aaron Pico guy, man. He's got absolute bombs. He's got excellent wrestling. He's explosive. The chin's tough though. Kevin Holland, Randy Brown. I'm gonna go Kevin Holland. Randy Brown's fought some real dudes, got some good pop, but Kevin Holland's been in there with the best of them. He's so active. He's seen every single style there is, and I don't think Randy Brown's I think Randy Brown's great. I just think Kevin Holland's going to be weird for him. Gamrot versus Ribovic. I've seen a lot of people go with the Argentinian. This is a shot for him to shoot up in the rankings, but I'm going to go Gamrot. I just think he's probably going to wrestle him. But people are really high on Ribovic, so I could be wrong. Suarez versus Godinez. I just don't care. I'm going to go 30-27 smudge fest from Tatiana Suarez. And yeah, I'm not really familiar with Medeiros. I'm not really familiar with Prado. I know Radke and Padilla, so I'll probably go those two fellas. And then I'm going to go Kelvin Gastelum over Vicente Luque. Gastelum arguably drew against Joe Pyfer. Was in there for 15 minutes with Joe Pyfer, and Israel Adesanya couldn't even do that. So I'm going to go Kelvin Gastelum by, let's say, round 2 knockout. Round 2 knockout or 30-27. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, drop a comment, try and flame me. I just don't care. Yeah, this Saturday. Tune in.